How far is too far when it comes to what can and cannot be made into anime characters? Well, Petals of Reincarnation puts that to the test. Reincarnation is mainly associated with isekai shows, but what if you can reincarnate as past historical figures, good and bad ones, even some of the world's worst people to have ever lived? That's exactly what you're getting with this anime. We have our main character, Senji Toya, who seeks to have a talent of his own, no matter what it takes. He wants to gain a talent to get revenge on everyone who wronged him after the death of his older brother. So one day, a new student arrived at his school, Haito Le Buffet, who will change his life completely. He is shown and given the talent of a returner, who is someone who is able to acquire the talents of past lives of famous and infamous figures by simply slitting his own throat. He of course is delighted to have something that gives him any sort of meaning to his life. So he decides to join the other returners and be part of their group known as the Forest of the Greats, who fight evil talents. Those include serial killers, criminals, and dictators. We'll come back to the dictator part later. Toya's talent comes from Ishikawa Goemon, who was basically Japanese Robin Hood. He stole from the rich and gave to the poor. He doesn't have a complete reincarnation like the other members of the Forest of the Greats. He has two main talents. The first is right arm or thievery, which allows him to pass through any object and steal whatever he pleases. The second, left arm or thievery, allows him to use the talents he has stolen. He keeps it as a secret with only a few other returners knowing about it, as he's willing to steal others' talents no matter if they're allies or enemies. As long as it's a talent that can benefit him, he will do anything to have it. Alright, let's point out the obvious. This show is your typical edgy shonen, with an anti-hero main character who acts edgy as well. When watching this, it brought me back to being a teenager watching Elfen Lied or Akame ga Kill and thinking that I was witnessing the absolute peak of anime. The whole phase of thinking more edginess meant it was absolute cinema, but I can't deny, maybe it's just nostalgia from that time of my life. I am enjoying the edginess, just a little though. I'm not saying it's the best thing I have ever seen or the best show of the season, but there's this charm I find from it that takes me back to the ones from the 2010s, especially like I mentioned already, Akame ga Kill, which for some reason actually had a chokehold on me. Looking back at it, I don't know why I was enthralled by it. Oh, I almost forgot. Why is the animation art style pretty good? It was not what I was expecting when I first started the show. Especially the art style, which for me, it's so good and one of my favorite. But enough of that, let's talk about the reason why so many, and that includes me, were enticed to watch this. Yes, I am talking about the infamous Austrian painter himself turned dictator, Hitler, who has been turned into a Shota.
What?
Yeah, like many who saw the trailer, I had to do a double take when I saw who they were adding as a character.
Who?
Like a lot of people, it's the main reason to even give the anime a try, to see what the fuck they were going to do with his character. Story-wise, it's fine. I don't want to go too much in detail with it, so as to not give any spoilers, especially relating to who they decide to add as characters, with some of them being massive head turners when you see them. All in all, I'm enjoying it for some reason, despite how it somewhat feels like everything is moving so fast. I'm not sure how it compares to the source material, if it's the same pace or slower, since I have never read it before. But let's see how this all wraps up with only a few episodes left. Anyways, that is all for this one. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.